quick update on my cooling system here. Still waiting on parts, but basically I've got the new water pump in, the pulley back on, the belt back on. Getting the water pump out honestly wasn't too bad. This car's got 145,000 miles on it. Lived most of its life in Eastern Oregon, so rust honestly wasn't that big of an issue. On that original pump, once the pulley's off, I basically took a mallet, hit it a bit this way, hit it that way, tried to get some left and right movement to it, and then took a pry bar behind one of the screw holes and really just popped it off. Original pump is right here, so looks like the weep hole was just beginning to leak. Honestly, I replaced it pretty, kind of just to be proactive. I did break that tab right there, that shiny metal. Broke that off trying to use a pry bar on it, but it's all good. It came out. So that has been replaced. Belt's back on. I've got a fairly newer Gates belt. That belt went on at the same time as the what would you call it? I think this is the idler pulley, and then the tensioner. So the other thing, as you can see, the radiator is now out. I've got the transcooler and AC condenser still there, but the radiator came out. I did take out the air box to give the radiator a bit more play left and right to get that out. So that's over there along with the radiator shroud. Upper radiator hose is obviously out. Thermostat housing's out, and the original thermostat's out. Already threw that away. That thing was gross. I've got a Stant 190-degree Fahrenheit, just stock, but Stant thermostat right there. New thermostat housing and a radiator on their way. I've already prepped the new hose clamps on the lower radiator hose and upper radiator hose. I am saving all the old hose clamps. I might throw those on, but I kind of like the screw style hose clamps more myself personally. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Just waiting on the radiator and upper thermostat housing. I honestly could reuse this one. I mean, it's not bad. I took a file and just kind of lightly prepped it. You can see it's not perfect, but I figured, give it 5 minutes, see if I can make it any better. It is fairly dirty and whatnot in there, and the rubber gasket did leave some pieces on there. Again, I tried lightly filing that down. I think it would still work, but I mean, for the cost of a new one, I've got to wait for the radiator anyways, so that is on the way. I am keeping the original coolant overflow cap from the old, very disgusting container, but I'm going to keep this, throw it in the parts box, you never know. The new one came with a matching 16 pound, or 16 pound, I guess, 16 PSI cap, but again, keep a spare. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Kind of while killing time, I did, just because I'm getting the minor power steering pump whine, the classic old Ford startup and little whine back and forth. So I went ahead and siphoned out the fluid there and put in new fluid. If the car was running, I would do the proper, you pull one of the power steering lines off there, drain it, fill it, turn back and forth. I did that again about a year ago with some other services, so not too concerned, but I went ahead and pulled that out and put in proper Ford power steering fluid. So that's filled right to the top, or to the max line, I should say. Yeah, other than that, just waiting on my parts to arrive, and then we'll wrap this up. And one other thing, so here's a sample of the bottom of the, whatever, I guess what settled from the old coolant. This one here is just nasty. So this is the third bucket I'm going to be using, but yeah, I had done a full 20-gallon distilled water flush in this car October of 2020, prepping for a road trip. So I had already been through it with quite a lot of water. I guess I didn't get everything, so that's kind of why I'm doing. It went from replacing the expansion tank to buy some hoses to hell, why not throw a water pump in there? It's probably original. Now I've got a radiator come in, so it won't be perfect, but that should really get the cooling system topped up. The other thing I wanted to show you, since it's out, so this is probably one of the more redneck mods I've done, but here's my airbox. So Ford Motorcraft filter in there, nothing special. This is inspired off a post from Crown Vic. So if you pull out the stock intake tube here, what this is a dollar store cup that I used plastic adhesive, taped that in there, or glued it in there, I should say, spray painted it black, and now I have what's probably about a 20 to 30% larger opening for the intake tube. It fits right in that stock spot still, right behind the headlight, no problem. I also drilled a couple holes. Again, this is probably, you know, performance-wise, I'm not looking to gain horsepower, just wanted to gain a bit of intake noise. So this was my tame version of some of the airbox cut mods. I've seen, you know, examples online where people take this stock airbox, up with my foot here, stock airbox, and cut out this entire panel here, or do one massive hole, or, you know, go to the extreme of cutting out the entire bottom of the box. I figured a couple small holes, just using a step bit and the 99-cent cup. I mean, basically for $1, I'm able to get a little bit more induction noise. Again, I'm not looking for performance gain. This car is slow as hell. But, you know, that was kind of a fun little project. So, yeah. That is where I'm at. Wait on that radiator to arrive. Radiator and thermostat housing, and we'll get this done.